this is probably my favorite time of the year. Now, granted, I'll say that almost any time of the year, but I love the fall. Brianna and I got married about this time of the year, and the colors are just starting to turn beautifully. Today we're doing a project I've actually never done before. I've always loved chestnuts, but I've never made anything with chestnuts. I've always just eaten them raw or roasted. The first step to baking anything with chestnuts is making chestnut flour. I've never done it before. We're gonna do it today. Get your shoes on, buddy. Yeah, sit over there and do it. Before we gather chestnuts, I want to show you our fig tree and show you how it's coming along. There were all these tiny green fruit. There's a bunch of them, and they just didn't seem to be ripening or progressing. I was worried they wouldn't ripen, but look down here. Brianna loves figs. They smell so good even from the outside. Hey Joy, run up there to the strawberries and grab me that bucket. Happy heart. Thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
Good job. You got a happy heart now, huh?
Fill this up and then we'll put them in here. Go, guys.
Here's the chestnut tree. It's a beautiful big tree. There's a lot of chestnuts on the ground, but it looks like the squirrels and possibly even the deer have taken a lot of the big ones that were just open and really ripe and full. See on the ground, there's tons of chestnuts. It's just a question of whether we can get enough full ripe ones. That one obviously has worms in it and is really mushy. We're really unfortunately a few days too late for this. A lot of the ones that are on the ground have already kind of started rotting or fermenting. It's just soft and mushy and smells completely fermented. Ugh. So someone has to go potty, so we're going back to the house. Do you want to bring the figs to Mama?
Where'd Mommy go?
Mama loves figs. Bring those to Mommy. She's inside. Brianna was up late editing and then up with the baby a bunch last night. So she's just now waking up. What did you just give Mommy? You gave her figs?
Did you pick them?
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't. Good morning, Mommy.
Hi.
Time to get up. Where are you headed, Grace?
The garden.
What are you doing?
Supper.
What are you gonna get out of the garden?
Greens.
Greens? Cool. All right, have fun.
Hey, where have you been? Whoa.
Show us what you got, girl. Greens, kale, chard. Ooh, look at all that kale. Good job. You're washing all of these?
I already did wash them.
You washed them? They're all clean? Great, good job. Put them in the fridge.
Sleep is a hot commodity around here. Arthur is napping with the baby. I am working on school with Grace. It is unfortunately about 3 o'clock, but gotta get school done. Doesn't matter if it happens at 9 a.m. or 3 p.m. You want to see something really sweet? That is about as sweet as it gets.
So I don't know how many vlogs we can make about not getting done what we were planning on doing, because I think we shot a few of those, but we're trying to tell you the story of our real lives. So my day kind of got derailed. I was trying to do chestnuts and the chestnuts were just not, there were no chestnuts there. I'm really disappointed. I was actually gonna make chestnut apple muffins for you all and for us. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get to do that. Maybe we can do that next year. We'll just have to be on top of getting the chestnuts before they all go bad. They go bad really fast. Bright boy, careful, buddy. Careful, bud. Careful, careful, careful. Bright boy, that's not the way you're supposed to do it. So Brianna's leaving us again and going out to hang out with her friends and drink.
That is not true.
Tea. And drink tea. That's what I was saying. So we do have a project we need to do. We need to wash apples because Brianna's making applesauce tomorrow. Hey, Mr. Buster. Are you playing with the hose? No, 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 come on. Come on. Play right there. You know what you want, don't you? I've pretty much given up on the baby not getting wet. I am a big fan of apples, and I'm so excited about planting our own apple trees out here on this land. These are Rome apples. When you eat an apple variety, you're actually eating the exact same apple that people have been eating in the same variety for as long as it's been an identified variety. Rome apples were discovered in about 1817. So Brianna told that story the other day in her vlog. What that means is that someone basically planted an apple seed and it grew this completely unique variety. And then ever since then, we've been grafting off of the same tree. And that means every single Rome apple tree is essentially a clone, or really it's the same plant as that original tree. Thomas Jefferson's favorite apple was the Spitzberg. If you eat a Spitzberg apple, you're actually eating the same apple that Thomas Jefferson ate. So these are clean, and one of you kids can grab the hose and rinse these in this one over here. There's apple varieties known that date back to at least the 1500s. There are thousands of types of apples. The vast majority of those types of apples were not deliberately developed. They just occurred when a seed was planted, often accidentally, and then someone discovered that specific seed had grown out a really amazing apple. You've probably been told that if you plant a seed from an apple you get at the grocery store, it won't necessarily grow out anything worth eating, and it won't be true to the type of the apple that it came from. Now that's kind of the pessimistic way to look at it. The optimistic way to look at it is if you plant a seed from an apple from the grocery store, you could have just planted the next amazing variety. Each apple seed has the potential to create a whole new variety of apples. I think that the number of known varieties is 7,000. It may be more like 20,000, I don't remember. But kind of the sad thing about the modern agriculture industry is that the number of apples that we actually regularly consume in the United States is very, very low. If you think about what's in the grocery store, it's just a dozen to a few dozen apple varieties that are actually grown on a large scale. Part of the reason for this is that the only apples that can feasibly be grown in the modern system we have are apples that store well. No, there's nothing wrong with an apple that stores well. People have grown those for hundreds of years and kept them through the winter and had fresh apples through the winter. But there's also hundreds of varieties that don't store well that have essentially been lost because there's not a place for them in the modern system that we have these days.
Wow!
Good job, buddy. All right, I'm gonna grab them, Justice. I think these are rinsed. Grab the soap, Joey. So the only way the genetic information that's unique to every apple variety is preserved is through a living tree. You can't take the seeds and store them for months or years in a vault. There has to be a living tree to preserve that genetic material. Well, we're done for the day. Everyone's wet and tired and worn out. We're gonna go inside and have supper, put everyone to bed. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.